All right, so let's suppose we're given a set of data, marks in a class of 10 students, okay? So I got 62, I got somebody who got 54, I got somebody who got 76, somebody who got 88, somebody who got 90. So we got 10 students in a class, and these are the results as a percentage, and we want to create a boxing whisker plot for this. So I've got 35 and 70, 85. I'm now on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two more, 77 and 60. And these are the 10 results for students' marks in the class. We want to formulate a boxing whisker plot. The first thing I'm going to do is we going to try and get the following important values for this boxing whisker plot. We're going to get, firstly, the entire set from smallest to biggest. We're going to rewrite it from smallest to biggest first. In that way, we'll be able to get certain statistics much more faster, like the minimum. We'll be able to get the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum. And once we've got those 5 points, we can then get our boxing whisker plot going. So when I do this, I can use a striking off method and just rewrite them each one at a time. So the smallest number I can see is 35. So draw a line through it, 35. And then the next one is 54. The next one is 60, 62, 70, 77. In this way, it just helps me to keep track of not repeating the same number. I made a mistake there. It should be 76, and then 77, and then 85, 88, and then 90. All right, immediately I can identify my minimum and my maximum from here. My minimum is my smallest value, my maximum is my largest value. So that's going to be 35, and that's going to be 90. The next thing I need to do is divide my entire data set into quarters, into 25%. So in order to do that, we first start by dividing it into halves. If I divide it into halves, I got 10. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers on the left, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers on the right. And so the middle value, which is my median, will be right in between these two, which means I have to find the average of the two. So I add it and I divide it by 2. It becomes 146 divided by 2. And 146 divided by 2 is 73. So 73 is going to be my middle value, and that's my median. So I can put that in there, 73. The next thing I look at is my lower quartile, LQ. And the lower quartile is halfway through the first half of the median division. So if I have to go halfway through here, I can see that that is most likely where it would be from there to there. And I can see that that over there is 60. That over there is my lower quartile, and it's going to be equal to 60. It's exactly halfway between the left hand side. All right, so that's 25% of my data set, and there's another 25% of my data set. And I do exactly the same thing on this side. I notice that this is going to be another point, 25%, and that would be my upper quartile. It's also the central point of the right hand side, and that's 85, the exact value, 85. So now I've divided my data set into quarters, and I've identified LQ, which is lower quartile, and I've also identified UQ, which is upper quartile. Let's put it in here. So I got 60 and I got 85. Now that I have these 5 values, I can put this carefully onto a boxing whisker plot. But the first thing I need to do is have some kind of ruler in place. Right? The ruler is going to have a standardized set of values. So it's going to start from 0 and it's going to go all the way till 100. And then halfway would be about 50. halfway over here would be 25, halfway over here would be 75. Then I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55, 55, 60, 65, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95. And I can now try and find each of these values over here on this line. Let's start with the first one, which is 35. So if I locate 35, I can see that would be, so 25, 30, 35 is going to be exactly over here. When you locate that point, what you do is you draw a vertical line above it. Okay, draw a vertical line in line with 35. Now let's go to 60. 50 is over here, 55, 60 is over here. Let's draw another vertical line here. In line with 60, in line with the 35, the first line initially found. The next one is 73. 73, this is 65, 70. 73 is going to be over here. So that'll be above here. And then 85, 80 is over here, 85 is over here, which would be like slightly 80, 85 is over here. And let's just put this down. This is 73. That's 85. And then lastly, 90 would be the last line, which is right here. 90. We can draw these vertical lines. Now, the central three vertical lines, we form a box out of it. Okay. And the other ones, we connect the whiskers to the box. And so what this eventually shows us, it shows us quite clearly where our data lies. And we can see our data lies, majority of our data would lie on this half of the range. So this class did quite well. I mean, having a median of 73, most of the data, 75% of the class got more than 60, got more than 60%. And we can see that 50% of the class got between 60 and 85. 25% of the class actually got distinctions between 85 and 90, or even if distinction is from here, we could say that. But yeah, those that got above 73, we could tell that as well. Okay, so this is a box and whisker plot and how we would actually draw it from basics.